What if home wasn't a place of comfort but a battleground? What if childhood meant hunger, fear, and survival instead of laughter and love? Today on Bookshortz, we're diving into a story so raw and real, it'll stay with you long after the final page. This is Road Home by Rex Ogle, a powerful memoir about poverty, pain, and the quiet strength it takes just to keep going. Hey everyone, welcome back to Bookshortz, the channel where we bring you powerful book summaries that hit hard. Stay honest and leave you thinking. If you love real stories that move you, inspire you, or just help you feel a little less alone, you're in the right place. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. That way, you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into best-selling books, unforgettable memoirs, and life-changing stories. All right, let's get into Road Home by Rex Ogle. And trust me, this one's going to leave a mark. Sometimes the hardest journeys aren't the ones we walk, but the ones we survive inside our own skin. Imagine being a kid who just wants to feel normal, but whose life is anything but. No cozy bed, no stocked fridge, no warm hug when the world turns cold. That's the reality Rex Ogle lived, and the one he brings to life in Road Home. This isn't just a story about hardship. It's about what happens when a kid is forced to carry burdens way too big for his shoulders, and still dares to dream of better. Road Home is the powerful sequel to Free Lunch, where Rex Ogle first introduced us to his younger self growing up in a poor, abusive household. In this continuation, we meet Rex in 8th grade, now living with his grandmother after escaping the violent home he once shared with his mom and her boyfriend. But safety doesn't always mean comfort, and peace doesn't always come easily. The story picks up with Rex trying to navigate school, friendships, trauma, and a growing understanding of what home really means. At first glance, Rex's life looks like it's improving. After years of chaos and physical abuse, he's now in the custody of his abuela. But that doesn't mean his problems have vanished. Food insecurity still lurks in the background. Emotional scars throb beneath the surface, and the overwhelming pressure to act like everything is okay threatens to crush him. Rex is a kid trying to act like an adult, all while still desperately needing someone to take care of him. What makes this book gripping from the very first page is how raw and real Rex's voice is. He doesn't sugarcoat his pain. He doesn't pretend to be a hero. He's just honest, sometimes brutally so. He admits to his fears, his shame, his desperate attempts to belong. He talks about skipping meals so others can eat, about trying to be invisible when the world feels too heavy, about aching for his mom even after she's hurt him. That honesty turns this book from a personal memoir into something universal. Every reader, no matter their background, can feel the ache of wanting love, the sting of rejection, and the quiet hope of something better. In school, Rex keeps his struggles hidden behind jokes and sarcasm. He's the class clown because it's safer to be laughed at than pitied. But beneath the mask is a kid who's always on high alert. He's tired, hungry, wounded, and scared. The smallest things, like a kid joking about lunch money, can send him spiraling, because he knows what it feels like to go without, to hear your stomach growl during math, to dread lunch because it means standing in the free meal line, to be labeled poor in a world where kids judge each other by brands and backpacks. Despite his pain, Rex remains fiercely protective of his little brother, Ford. Their bond is one of the most touching parts of the book. Ford is too young to understand the full extent of what's going on, but Rex understands enough for both of them. He tries to shield Ford from the worst parts of their reality, even when that means going without himself. That selflessness makes Rex incredibly compelling. He's not just a survivor, he's a protector, a fighter, a kid trying to be a parent while still needing parenting himself. Abuela, the grandmother he now lives with, is both a comfort and a new challenge. She's kind and loving, but also strict and deeply religious. Her home is safer than the one he left, but not always warm in the ways he needs. There's food now, yes, but also rules that confuse him, a faith that doesn't always feel comforting, and emotional walls that are hard to climb. Still, Rex tries to adjust. He wants to be good, to follow the rules, to make things work. But trauma doesn't disappear just because the bruises fade, and the wounds left behind are sometimes the hardest to heal. Throughout the book, Rex battles not only his circumstances but his emotions. He struggles with depression, with feeling unwanted, with thinking maybe the world would be better off without him. And here's where Road Home becomes more than a coming-of-age story. It becomes a lifeline, a message to every kid who's ever felt like they don't belong, who's ever been ashamed of where they come from, who's ever wondered if they matter. Rex's story says, you're not alone, you're not broken, and your past doesn't define your future. Friendships play a huge role in the story too. Rex's relationships with his classmates are complicated. Some friends drift away when they learn about his home life. Others offer silent support. And some, like his best friend Ethan, are lifelines when everything else feels like it's falling apart. But even these friendships are fragile, because when you're living in survival mode, even kindness can feel suspicious. Rex constantly questions whether people like him for who he is, or pity him for what he lacks. That insecurity is heartbreaking but deeply relatable. School, meanwhile, is both a refuge and a battlefield. Teachers can be lifelines or triggers. One teacher gives him a journal and tells him his words matter. Another embarrasses him in front of the class. These moments, small to outsiders, hit with enormous weight in Rex's world. Because when you already feel like you don't belong, one kind gesture can be life-changing, and one careless word can break you. The book doesn't shy away from tough topics. It dives deep into mental health, poverty, domestic violence, and the lingering effects of trauma. But it does so with incredible care. Rex Ogle never glamorizes the pain. He doesn't write for sympathy. He writes for truth, for connection, for every kid who's ever felt invisible. And that's what makes Road Home so unforgettable. As Rex continues through the school year, he slowly begins to reclaim pieces of himself. He starts writing more. He opens up, just a little, to those around him. He learns to ask for help, even when it feels impossible. And he begins to understand that healing isn't a straight line. Some days are good, some are terrible, but every step forward counts, even the smallest ones. By the end of the book, Rex still doesn't have a perfect life. There's no magical rescue, no dramatic makeover, but there's growth, there's hope. There's a sense that maybe, just maybe, he's on the road to something better. That maybe home isn't just a place, it's something you fight to build, piece by piece, even when the world tries to take it from you. Road Home is more than a memoir. It's a mirror for those who've lived through similar struggles. It's a flashlight for those still lost in the dark. And it's a powerful reminder that pain doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Rex Ogle's voice is unfiltered, unpolished, and deeply real. His story isn't just worth telling, it's necessary. Because every kid deserves to be seen, to be heard, to know they're not alone, for anyone who's ever questioned their worth, for anyone who's ever wondered if things will get better, for anyone who's ever needed a reason to keep going. Road Home is that reason. Raw, honest, and ultimately, hopeful. This is a book you won't forget, and this is a story that might just change how you see the world. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link on description. Thank you.